Premo atu yema munyina hama makwa ba de ba UTV so ebra aso sense mawdra yesa kan yaboaboa no free studio se no shepa osabeka judge nenkran no yede eba ebesomo yede asede ma this way chocolate drink aye Ghana koko ne yede aye ede aya no wanom bi your best point savings and loans and the best assurance special ice natural mineral water ne drinks ahodo ne nawie omubo michidom nyasem ketwa sewes closet ashamata de loles loss for ayemiti ede amami madaroma ensem no de edimu akote no ebi eni Oko mrashebedwemo nmunyafo Alexander Afenyoma kena kasa de atuja se efiti ebra covid baye no oman bie no mo wasase so a omusi kasam agina ye na Ghana ban obone ho emodin pa Oko Kintampo ne potem so yesi entokwa bi eyi ne ti entienam so amempenifo ato sa afrem mrashebedwafo na afenso asoafo mienu bi so meyi nsembisa bia no ye behwe ne ye bisa se eye hwanmoa ne yekọ eye baby te se epoye mantemu a ewon so ene mpenifo de atodwa se ede yomo etimu no enkoye enutomu ye mpenifo mo a se ebeba abeye ede ama womo na enu achie no so galamsa ye tuo ewo obosome frɛ ho ade hye bi akasa ede afa ho ensem no ebi eka ho don hwere ba hwea ejiwa akode magye pani amede ba besomo afi ensem no enkyiremu enie Onimonyafo Alexander Afenyoma kin wono na ye edom dodo ne ba no dani abedi akire ewo mrachebedwam na wakasa de atudwa akirem se covid ba ye beye enfinhia miensanie no oman bie no mo wasase wese so metun akase ne sikasam akoyie Ghana ban ebo ne homodinti e ma ne mo opiafo ne enkoso enter nachi wode nse wei atudwa mrachebedwam bra na covid hyeye ene budget no mo ebobo ho
of competent leadership in the wake of global geopolitical crisis, the COVID crisis we had all over the world, and no economy is in a good shape, and they know. No economy is in any good shape anywhere in the world. And if they say any economy is in a better shape anywhere in the world, I dare them to say that in this house for us to interrogate him. Mr. Speaker, in spite of all that is going on, the incoming budget has allocated 3 billion cedis to agriculture sector. 3 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, in spite of all the challenges that we are facing as a country, this incoming budget has set down 3.5 billion cedis for the road sector for arrears to contractors and to also complete ongoing road projects. This is a positive news to businesses. This is a positive news to contractors. Mr. Speaker, let's come to lead. Our government is committed to the social needs of the people who are vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, LEAP has been increased by way of allocation from 395 million to 720 million cedis. And these monies are going to benefit the very poor of our society, in spite of the challenges that we face. Is this an empty budget? Mr. Speaker, school feeding has increased from 969 million to almost 1.4 billion. Mr. Speaker, we have sent many of our children to schools. We have built the infrastructure. We know that many people are poor. And in spite of the challenges, this government has increased allocation up to 1.4 billion.
Abejeko mo enehwe ya Kintampo outdoor so ewo mrashibedwom ba no dani eye achim swedro mrashibedwani onimonyamfo Kennedy Osenyako na wakasa kyerese ye mo MPP aban abasufri so wa ya de pa wo hwe mfimpi mienu ni aduonu na 2024 watwa sika no eye 3.4 billion Ghana cedis ye mfansie sie kwan enu nti no aban no ebo ne hombodin
The Kufuor government is a government that is committed in resolving the many challenges that we have in our road sector. I know the issues are many in the sector, and no one government will be able to resolve all that problem, but it is about the commitment. It is about the commitment. Mr. Speaker, there are several of these roads scattered around the country that government is currently embarking. And I can talk about the Tema to Akosomo, which has already been given to a contractor. The Tema to Ada Aflawo Road, which also has been given to contractor. Mr. Speaker, all these are roads that for years have been abandoned by past governments. And we've all seen how this road they've all become deployable or death traps. And if you have a government who says, even irrespective of the difficulties that we are going through as a country, is still committed and still investing heavily into the sector, then we must applaud the government, but not to overly criticize the government, make all comments that are unpalatable about the government. That is what we have to do. And for us, as a government or as a party, we are committed in making sure that we resolve this problem for the good people of Ghana. And I want to encourage the good people of Ghana that the MPP government is a government that they can trust. We have demonstrated it. And that is what I want to encourage everyone to support this very budget. Because if you are able to support this budget, government will be able to do more of these road projects.
Mo ane wangara adeshibusia a no ewo Kintampo mesini mu no ene ntokwa bi bobɔ eba ewo mo entem na Kintampo mrashibedwani ehu eno nti wakɔ mrashibedwam akasa afa ho achemse mpenifo nya nentem ansa na agensemu we enam so amachia mehene ato ne nsa afre oswafo a wɔhwɛ afisem ne oswafo hwɛ bambo so momre ne yɛhwɛ ko yɛbɛfa so yɛbɛma asomdwe aye adwuma.
Why should we sit down for Kintampo to be torn apart? Research and research must not struggle to fix what is happening. Let's all be fair to all the factions so that in the end, everlasting peace will be the winner. Mr. Speaker, I have consulted the Peace Council, both regional and national, to quickly intervene in the Kintampo issues for the parties to use dialogue and mediation for everlasting peace and prosperity in Kintampo.
Honorable Speaker, Lantan, is amazing that we have some of these quarrels in the midst of what the MPs complain about. The center of Ghana has a lot of challenges, as he's trying to portray. Challenges in the area of agriculture, tourism, road infrastructure, and the rest of them. These matters will be very uppermost on the mind of the traditional rulers and then the powers that be, rather than in the midst of, if you like, challenges, developmental deficit, traditional rights, and the rest of them to detain the energies of that area.
And then we have the waterfall, a very important tourist attraction. And we have the senior high. So there's a lot that we've invested in Kintampo, even though the infrastructure might not be the best. But almost all tribes are settled in Kintampo, particularly the Mu, the Bunu, the Wangaras, the Konkumbes, and a lot of the northern tribes are settled there. We have a lot of Gunjas there too. And so it's a national matter, and I think that we should take it serious. So please, table office, kindly convey to the two ministers that as a matter of urgency, they should tomorrow appear before the Committee on Defense and Interior to brief the committee as to what actions are being taken. If there's the need for the House to move there, the House will do so to try and prevent any clash and any eventualities.
Jedu enum 15 years ni na Ghana yenya afa ngwo shembra a eno ye Petroleum Revenue Management Act no na eno na akọ mashibedwemu a edum kuma ba no dani abedi echire a wasanso ye elembelem mashibedwani onimanyafo Emmanuel Kofi Amaboa ede atodwa se embra ne be yanke yenhwene ensesem afrise osoafo hwe sikasem so otumi wasa enhyehye ne so dodo ye ye ne sa ebeboa ye ne di sika no ede ayadepa.
Mr. Speaker, I take you to the upstream sector. The NDC left with an impeccable record in the upstream sector. 3 producing oil fields.
Oh, and the you.
Mr. Speaker, today, the report by Piak is very clear. Piak says that we are stuck with 3 producing fields and it is declining. And for 7 years, we have not added 1 producing field to our fields. In fact, after we left you this morning, but Mr. Speaker, what is critical, and I need to point it out, is that just in 2020 alone, oil revenue was $1.43 billion. Exactly what have we used oil money for? Mr. Speaker, this is to all of us as members of Parliament. I think I take the liberties of this debate to call on members of Parliament for us to revisit the Petroleum Revenue Management Act.
I agree with you.
Mr. Speaker, the power of the finance minister to play with the oil must be stopped.
You have always made a statement, leader.
If we ask ourselves today, exactly what have we done with oil after almost 15 years of oil production, nobody will remember.
You are making that
Because we are just supporting the budget with the oil money. Mr. Speaker, we must all agree that in the next 10 years, we are going to focus oil revenue with big projects like railways,
legacy,
big transport. We have not actually designed a plan in Ghana where you can travel from Harvard to Wa and come back to Accra in a VCAP in 3 hours because we have never done it. Can we create the Ghana superhighway with oil in the next 10 years? That is what I'm calling for, Mr. Speaker. This budget is empty and has not inspired any hope. The people of Ghana have had a challenging journey in the past 7 years. This journey has been characterized by mistrust, hopelessness, arrogance of power, mismanagement, excessive borrowing, nepotism, corruption. But to the people of Ghana, I have good news for you. I have good news for you. We are bringing you dedication and hard work. We are bringing you commitment. We are bringing you trust. We are bringing you humility. We are bringing you good leadership.
Ramsar site eno no wini ba meche apoye mantemu na ba beto dwa se dwumaku a wondin eye Green Metal Mining Company am mutumi krata so munkotu efom agudi ohodomo na nananom ahemfo mo ewo efutu gomo adwuma ko ni gomo champion ede atodwa akire mu se Davida abanma ne nsasoe na saa de no yenya efesie betu fom agudi obia o ma be ha adwene na de hawo ene yenie so ebeba
ye wole yesaka oye krata the assembly oye Guma West ena efutu municipal the oye Green Metals why been there motu oye gold ena other resources e won manko forest yanjantu ye krata ye become one sala ye won oma bade nananum to wampo wobaye oye mine no ona nananum ebasen a asase no oye yede no ya bom ye kache Ghana mine there oye tambiara wo blame oye nananum no there nananum ɛna wɔde asase wɔde ma for mining wɔde aban nankasa ana the mineral commission fo ɛna wɔde asase wɔde ama for mining a nananom yɛnyɛ wɔn hwee na osi na na ɛkɔ ɔyɛ yɛ asase do na mineral commission fo wɔde yɛ asase wɔde kama dɛ wɔn fa yɛ ɔyɛ gold mining without informing the nananom.
Nduba wɔde bɛyɛ adwuma no ɔyɛ esutine ebien bi ɔda ha yɛn nuanom obi bi cabbage na adze nkakra ne nyinaa ɔbɛyɛ polluted wɔn tún fɛn bi adi bi apart from that dɛm nsukku naa so bɔkɔ baka nim mpatoa kakra yɛnya kama sɛ pono sɛ a yɛde yɛnyu akyerɛ hɔ ɔno nso bɔbɛn mboa a wɔwɔ ɛhɔ nyinaa wɔbɔ no mbaka no mu nsu na esuti no mu nsu nyinaa wɔn nyinaa wɔwuwu na wɔguan so kɔ kapɛ dɛ machines no ba na wɔyɛ adwuma na wɔn feel comfortable.
Judith na dede okan wono ena ye panyin ohwe apomuden so shama mansin wa toye mademo na wakasa se enam galamse a enam so ahwe ama ensuo pra ase wo shama nti adehye no enyanyarewa bebre ebi yadwi badwi banko sankrosa mampere ne yekeka wonu nti esempenifo yire omo ne yeku etia galamse
communities na today music campaign they are all relying on streams and rivers. Na ehwe polluted river ya oyehane river prior of Fabipos where a lot of chemicals are released into it. Galamsey will release the chemicals people consume. That alone can offend and cause this offend the skin rashes because chemicals most of it will affect the skin. Of course, skin it's absorbed into the skin. Into now a demono. Great reaction everyone they won't any complain with either itching or rashes and all that. Why polluted only the main cause of the skin diseases are report the more. That is the main source of water. For them, that is the main source of water. For bathing, using it for health offending. If your body is banned with a that's for domestic use. That is what they depend on. Was it when it's been will go be one on be. Until now means we are not very much offending. They on one piece there the me rashes and more.
Ye press ma otumku. Na ebenaze ene ye beye ma esma afene tempefra. Nesa sunti ene ye ze shama home kam. Yes bobazi. Ama odu da membro na eswafo won bebie hina otwane moba na ye hihye oyeda pendwubezi ball na ndedei yeza ye hwenkofo ho apomezi enkofu nya dagiri wontum na won hospital ko ye wa apomezi ti ya fatu ye de obiara mbra na ye hwe na apomezi na yemfaman ye njuska o free ajo si project ye pre ye see ultra modern Shama Community Center. Yisuku Bentin, Yisuku Apo. Last year, Yashas, Bentin to the later level. Yajizi there, I feel we are able to complete. May I cash a prison so as it. And they say this young project also in order or a Bentin Ultramodern Community Center and the Apo Ultramodern Community Center.
Abai edi ayalolo bas no eba se bebo amakobedi akoso wanu na adwumayfo ho aharomo ebra traffic wo mu no yenche ewo kwan so na esu enei bas ne ba ko komiense komienu ko na chese ni nyadesa dia aka no akakakra bi na enkramie mie ba bi ne wo we enam so magana fo bi akasa di atudwasa aban wo ma bas ne no so wo krom ni yemfa ne yenkomra na ama traffic na no so abrase di amaye
Abe twa mu amamu so no ena mpinfo de ayalolo basis e baaye botete chiri nyina se na nkebeboa na minyaka no ano atuma brase sense ayalolo no ebetima fa nipa be ye de wotwe 80 preko TV bubom ope baabi a charge wo phone na wura kai mu a obenya baabi nso a charge wo phone na kyese ne bo nso F4 pa ampenifo gina so kora ye akwan soronko e de ma basisi nanso ene onenam kwan ho a obebre pa ansa na elolo basi woni atwa bi so na we na UTV kase boy ye tufa akoko pie mu a chimota news station kokko hwe se aso basis no ye adwuma ye ho anase ni ho ne ekwa ni ehunu se basis na ya park ya bodom pem ensuo buru no e na ewia e hye no na we ne ebisa Ghana fo bi se elolo basis ye de ye to kokoto yi ene ogina kwan ho a wunya bi mpo na wafro na osom sen
oyalolo ni ye bi anka ye befu no ho e bi ni ho se abamba tum na so di be ho nko ande ye befu e se ho ni ye nya trotra ka bie no e de ekwo apart from trotra ne pe nti se dan ne ho pa se obebo ade no me bi mbra ho ne ye so ye ho nto ye wo trotra ne bi di 4 cedis e bi di 5 cedis 70 pesos nti se bi obo na se bi ze 4 cedis no obeja ye befu
first day na me fa na me tika so na me fa ba na well ultima ho to ne ade ba se sia no me free baby ana me wo no amaba France odok honso no alolo no bi ni ho no overload ni ndo so te say sometimes we say bi twema ni paneta so gine mu bebre ni ade I first no me say ntesa eye ma na atu I now no be na mo hu se o kana ma aye ma kasa
alolo for dey say do ma say first no mo ntesa e say o mo fa na kan ni ye makra bra o mo fa ni ma no mo fa ni pegum o mo ye trotro moto eni so kwa me trotro mo ye trotro ama ye dibedu kan ketwa no trotro for no mo so speed na no odin ti we no na ye fa na kakra akra ebo ne de ka akese no eto de nketwa no eto de bi o mo je 14 cedi na any 10 cedi anapa but ayolo de 9 cedi na no mo je
former say ya lolo bas ne bi ni ho na say authority ni be kra na say bi aba ho de ya na ya ye fo trotro no so no agba ye kakra anya sa wo be pon no asa no be do no na de asa nti samodi bi ba ho ma ya no say aye pa
Yakoye nse njeri Michael Kofi wa muwapo ye mantem ne adi enkomo na yebedi kan akosra a eno wapo ye mantem ne ho ena sku anya mfinje aduoso miensa 73 years so waba wadum eche nipa bebre e wa Ghana zase wesi so efiti ebra sku ni bai bepemene no ensiesie nkoso nti wa hwat bia ben ena sku ni wom de okwa aten de oba aten de ogina on kita atentro do ye Michael Kofi wa homa ne so yekodi enkomo Akofi akwaba
Yenya efia
boye nchiremu school ne tebia no etesen
ye afia pem ahankron adunum 1950 and I see Presbyterian basic school ewo sra ye brono ba ko a ewo yiro krobo mensinim na no kwasem nei so wu nkompon hwewachi na wu nkunta infie poly edioson miensa 73 years and as school edi na wa wo hwe so nipa anka na sitem en ne tibia mbeye sen school no ahojo na hoden abafem awon koso e ma obi de nsa so nse gim na ne ho ahoden a ebedwiri school dan ne agufem eno e na achechefo ene adusuafo ne omanfo a won mo sra ampotem ho se ebe aban bone ben e na school yi ene omomo trade wum na adusuafo no omayew na kamo ne nam ho ekwabai etimu hu se school dan no asaya na ene wudu sukum ho no ma school no dan no ho apafai afin chance ya wo so krampo no ye nka hwasem ensonya bo mu kururu na chechefo no now the day is over no wapon emwa ma eye humasua de kire entumi enkoso enu nti no mu koto esre aban se aban hwe na mensin ka chepani na afin so ma shebeje ni owo ho eso na enu mani hwe ya entotoya ne hihye so mo ye no mu school dan fofo de mom no etumi aboa eno na UTV kase bo yekopie mo ho yehu sampa school dan awon koso ma na TBM no enye enu nti yeto aso ekọ bensin assembly hall yekọ ye no nyamfo eretete ono ye MCE ewo yiro krobo ekodi ehiem ene bisa so onabo na school dan mu hu ye so mahu na eye minister of education so afọ hwe eye humasua so ache se omo fa school a ehia putuprum nsisi anasa si school dan for amom no omo fa be enum din embra omo trofra school din no aka ho a omo twen se ombema approval EDFC eye ministry of education na enmani heya omo abesi o chese school do no bebre be ye bioson enson e won potem ho a ne tie bia mu nyenyenyenyenye enti saa de no so eni baby a ewe akire omo enye so mani ehu omani ehu nti mrefa mu no ade a omo ne homasua aso eye no ebedi kaso bom na anamoto bi so mutu efa Presbyterian Primary School a ewo sra na ne mpotemu anase ne tibiam enye no wobetumi ayesiesie e de asiesie aboa
Mibisa mehwe blackboard ne so a date na wo so no ye August 2023 ye na chese enkura da so etisa edan wese mu esua de
me no e ka se ade amofra na timu omusua de omu ni baabi e ka ho enti omutim a omusua de a ne ya ne se nsuo embom se ebeto enmom ne ebepom na se nsuo mbom se epon to de a ene ye mpom enti enna me no ka se e ade amofra esua de wo ma omanfo achechefo ena afesa adusuafo no omonson ene omonkwa ene de gemu a omosesa aban tu hwana mo embo omo
wo kasa no si DC crash say ombehwe no mo asiesie enti ombehwe mo asiesie no edan me ye sure say enhyase se nye ne omo twen ama na diewu akumunipa ansa no beka no makoye ne tentem so anase enani echine omo ba beye
on the NHM no so omo twen approval omo trotro aye ho nkata asem de akọ enye say on basis in impo omo buagu no masini foforo enti approval no ho twen si eye Ministry of Education na enimani fe ya contractor aba omo say contractor bia ni wa ni o man school dan say o nsi na echi o magi ni sika obetumi abeje efe IGF a eye mpotem no omo je no enya ade betumi esi school dan ebia si ho esua enu nti se mensi asem ni ka so omo de tom ho so school dan foforo a na entro eno mucha enu ti bibia so omo twen efi aban ho na aban etumi ye nhese na omo tumi esi school dan foforo de mo ni manu ya se be ye ni se be ye ochina o da na ebe kire
maybe said ye chatu we de anyimbia no krono babia ewo no ewo babia kwan wo ho ewo kroto ewo amani
eni kroto kra ewo ufi eye so menya na wo ko eye odumase krobo mpotem wo no ma branch kakra bi keke na wadu sra a enhye dan hye nkwasi pa na se ekwatu debi ewo eye jiro krobo na afi so odumase kroti ahoyia na sra mpotem no na se school no esi
eti enye buo mu ade
debi obi otwamu bia ni tua ena obi obefa ho homasua mpanifo omukọ ho achechefo education directorate omunyira ni tua ma nkrata so omutro nyina no me hu bi ma me de me sesi so hu se ampa omachocho nkrata afasem ni assembly no ena afenso abansem ena akusi a ye twen se ibenya approval on basic school dan for the ama sa school no
wow yenhwe nansan ye dinsem bi betu dwa se abrantie bi a wawu emrante kwa ne se wote ase no enipa bonni oye mabofo enti ekosie no omukoji funu etwafu ni mprepa ese adaka bible no niema nyina yese o masan ye biem
se de yenim ne ekoso oni wabrem emebu no se bibi no omufa no mo so omufa di wo fam o se den yo eye ya no maka mo ho ekom ho so enya asempa na chese eye esiye na afin so efunu na adaka eseye na abomumu enche se na di kan di tuja no ni wabrem kwa ho na busuako bi ye so makosi om di hyebi na mebu no mo ho chese abrante ekono na otias no oye sakawa enu nti se mpenifo so makosi ni dia de bi on beche eye efun no mabone ma eme ho sem kra enkowie ye ya anto anka soro anso ne fam enu se nei o masan ye biemu ene di esi de etwam ni nyina ne se ni wabrem potempo kra ye hwe ho adesna e wabrem ne ne potemu me no ka se police for asom nantie miensa efa echi nantie a police for eso mo fa echi no omudinye owusu boatin wanya fishia edunu 20 years kwaku benefo wanya fishia edunu 25 years Richard Frempong wanya fishia edasa enum na wabra police for echechesemu ede acheye no yete ne se emrantie yi omo ekoye ne abusuako bi a omode hye afiri mu no ma yese omode na twada kem kwakusie no emrantie se de bida abusuan no ambo mo nkaye ammo man tro mo baby a omo bebo mo atu eye enna no entinu omo makwan mo abusuan ifa eye emunu ene adaka ne enkusi saa amonanim eti abusuafo no kotu eye enna no imprensa saa amrantie be kusi enna no imprensa ene abusuafo se what ye ya de de hye abrantie ano wa ko ne samatie he no Simon Ejepon a dodo na efren Bajio na endra wukwada ewia kete be no me sampa emu na abusuafo so makosie abrantie ya Emnanti woko bebre almost de biom ma kwanda e di adaka ni fi ebusafo ni sem e di adaka na pempem ho me almost say adaka ni tikura fi so emremu no kra to fem enu akire ebusafo ye ne ombe ye de mu no santo adaka mu e de kodu asie ho a na nche de bi omasi eye amuna no omo ma kwan enti police for e na ntempa omo yo masutra omo ba ho a enei omo ma dwobra aba ma ebusia no atumi asi omo de hye no eno na police for a won wa bem so de bi omo ntena so emnantie yaji ono kwadin ba akokura ba chese entwa mu ye eni se ebusumi yi mu a nwhwa na motu abusa kwakotu biem enti no kwase momadi bre muso emnantie miensa achi a enkai no omadwane me no ka say yade omo so mu tie so mo hu ye ni mani he ya no mo do mo akogina emra no na afenhwehwe mu bi eso mo ye wo sa awe hosemu hu no omo atumi aye so obi akọ ne sama akire ni ye kwakosie no mo se mo makwan ebusafo anje tumi amfi mo nsem ebusafo anche ba bi e bebo ne nda na wakobo ma bonna enu ti mo makwan mo mo kosie fu no na makosi adakamuna no mu wi amaje fu no di ahwehwe ho ma adaka kra sesei eni ade entwa yie enti samran mranche ne nsen aye so mpa achi no ye dom kogina mra no na ne bepiem ababia na akire nsem no ye do abesom yahwefo eni etiefo amandebo a efi ades na eni hwe akwai wo new abrem potemu eno no
me bisa se asiye no emrantie ne yo mobusua japade o masase
wan oman emusiye public cemetery ye oman ni nyina mekire eye ades na eni hwe akwai potemu ho edia na amrantie no eso mo makwan mabusua no ensie emu wo ho ntenye ebusuafo amrantie no obusuafo esiye na mo oman na esiye no nkoye saade no
mo ane amanebo yes training Michael Crofini eteni nkefe poye mantemo no ayekon ayeno ntimpendifo echemu somdom na besi forma hwema na nkoyasa na nkwankwaji ensemu na North Denmark shibedwani na wakwakoye adoye de ama adehia akosombo dam no yebie no mo ho aka adwemu wachemu so yoba 20 ebra wote se ensuo ayiri afadehie no na woda wona okeka ne nsase de onyaye no wodi akwakosoma adehie no
Today, we've moved from the number of communities that are already affected. The numbers are increasing. I went to one of the communities recently, and then it is so devastating. The same contaminated water, the water that has taken the places of convenience, the water that has taken cemeteries, the water that has taken people's homes, the water that has taken refuse dams are the same sources of drinking water to my people. Sometimes when I go to the communities, I feel like, no, this is not fair. The water has turned into green. That's what they are drinking. That's what they are using to cook. The kids are not going to school. People are displaced. About 20 people in one classroom. The situation is so terrible. So we are just pleading. This is the time that we need a president who will say that, look, we are in this with you. We are in this situation with you. We are going to fight it together. That's not what he said. And then just after that, we've had a minister for sanitation saying that we have actually asked the people to move from there and they didn't listen. Like, where were they expecting the people to move to? Is there a shelter somewhere that I, a member of parliament, do not know of? I have 6 resettlement communities. They've not done education anywhere. They've not asked anybody to move to anywhere. So I'm surprised that she could just stand on the national television and just lie to the people that there has been an allocation of money, that Voltarians are supposed to be educated or whatever. For God's sake, if they have allocated any money to anybody that's supposed to come to Volta region, that money is lying under somebody's bed. It didn't come to the Volta region. They shouldn't treat us as if we are not human beings. People are dying slowly. Waterborne diseases, there's no medication. People are still charging them when they go to hospitals. This is what we are going through. So we are asking the corporate world, they should come to our aid. They are doing enough. We are just telling them that we appreciate them a lot and that we ask that anybody that wants to come and support us should just come on board.
At the end, very, very, very serious. And one man issue, a UBI issue, because spillage, you know, actually, some baby. Ana spillage, you know, omo set down no intimate breaky. Lamp dam no subriki as some kesi panso nesi. Tieba hanum with over 1,500 packs of water, soups, rice, drinks, sanitary pads, mattresses, a whole lot of things at the Baha. But I can say, Ghana for yen and try to support. But ye dear Diani, any Sikabromo, and don't want Emwa. I was saying a sustainable solution because spillage in HMB Beba, because 2010 spillage by 1991 ebi by 1971 ebi by or Chebi should be Sambeba. I believe say government and the community leaders are around or more allocating some good space of land. No more building a whole new community among Kofono. Senabeya in this village Biaba, these people will not be submerged under the water again. Because I don't know, say very for some catch some move, but I have a question. Some move to where? Say I build the baby am one kebeboa.
Say nkrofo mu person mu mboa yesro obi biara. Enye say aban kwa obi biara obetumi aboa biara. Ye hia obi biara mu a so mu de beboa ye. Enti mesro mu say so mu beye bibia. Omu ma ye hu say ade we no mu ye. Na this time around nkrofo ba oman ni mu ana ukro mu a omu ma ya so nti say omu beye se ana omu beye omu anamo omu ba betu bia omu ma ya so nti nti esro mu na ye land owners no nti ye omu ma ye hu say ade we na e ba be koso na ye nso ye mbo ye nkrofo kokko say na ekọ.
Director for Research and Advocacy at Media Foundation for West Africa, Akasadi Atudra se embra efakuayo ene ensase ho no ese abanye no tutu ne yie na makuafo no dwumedi omudi no akọ animu anyesa dachi ankwa mabino kuaye ho nsem ebetwa api.
Government in its effort to do this is pursuing what in my view are smart agriculture policies, which for example it talk about planting for foods and job. They've recently launched the second phase, August 2023, after the 2017 first phase has elapsed. Within that policy, we got to interrogate and ask ourselves a number of questions. For example, we are having government distributing certified, modified, high seedlings to farmers because the emphasis is on quantity, but not quality. We are having an area where we have heavily concentrated use of pesticides, weedicides, and fertilizer for farming. We are in an area where we have import subsidy foreign agriculture inputs. And all these have implication on agroecology, the indigenous and traditional way of farming. We also have what now we all know, the irresponsible, uncontrolled, illegal mining. And we are being told by experts that there are high concentration of chemicals, of metals, in those farming areas, and have implication on roots crops, have implication on medicinal farming. In all of this, what we seem to glean from is that those farmers who want to practice agroecological farming do not have access to local seedlings. As actors, we have a role to play, not only civil society, not only media or government or any of the actors. Private sector, all of us come together to find a solution. And as a media, I'm throwing a call on you to begin to throw your lenses on doing quality media programming on agroecology, increase information within this space, engage the farmers to understand the policies and implications of this on all of us.
Densuano MA Basic School ewo apoye mantemu na mpenifo de school no ano edi atudwa se nanim obi enempoma ne mpona ewo school mo mo no eseseye efiri sabre bepum enene ho no mo ne nkrofo ede aye baby a omukodi akatima kapenya agro abrante kwa bi enya baba wa bi ni kodonkwe bi no na fa school ho no akoye de ewo yenti ho no makwa akoye 224 dan any hotel a ha dwimpenifo nkasa.
Most of the classrooms are without windows. Even the windows that we are there are broken. So in the night, some hooligans normally get into the classroom and then do their own thing. Sometimes you come to school and then you see people defecating on teachers' table. So in fact, we use that, even sometimes we use the whole day in cleaning the classroom because we cannot sit in the classroom without those things. So we normally find it difficult, especially in the KG department. Most of the children are from the overbank. They call the place Petroleum. They walk a very long distance to school. So sometimes when it rains heavily, most of them don't come to school. So we are calling on the government or any other philanthropists to help us.
Anybody from the community, as and when they come, if they are coming to learn on their own, is free. But when somebody comes to seek for extra classes, like in terms of ICT or any other program for the hours, that is where we charge a little, just so that we can keep the place running and pay the other working staff that we'll be having in the future. People in government positions, that these are the projects that they need to support, especially the education. For a whole GES, municipal education, and have this project, and he said he won't come, and true to his word, he didn't come. It's quite unfortunate, and I want to tell him we are able to do what we want to do, and we just wanted his presence to grace the occasion. But since he doesn't feel okay, that is fine with us.
This is our form of school. I say, Omina ombe boa akon momo bibia be maneba akọ school na omaba sua ICT no, because they say niam say na wiase kọ no mehu say a time will come so ni ICT knowledge of ICT I won't mean ton ade even cry nsuo e wo kwan ho etimesre say abaha ye nya ne hwe yeso mo obi amesua wa ukọ oye panini kra na wunni upese osua wo ba ye be kire na wonso wanya bibnimde e wo ho.
Kasiabonu NC ye homeso abayeba bongo difara wa the sports eba beto asunko bebia eba sisia.